up though, y'all? I'm here today with my son Armani. He's a little shy, but we are here to show you guys how we changed his Dexcom G7. He's supposed to change it every 10 days and his 10 days is up. So we decided to do a video and show you guys how we change his Dexcom. So he's 14 years old and he's type 1 diabetic. And this is a very, very great design for children and teenagers. It just gives them more freedom of not having to keep pricking their fingers all day and keep constantly checking their blood sugar when they could just wear a device and it reads to their phone. It does come with a device if your child did not have a phone that they can use instead. But if your child has a phone, which most teenagers do, then they would just use their phone and download the app. So a Dexcom looks like this. It's like a little sensor that they will wear. Armani mostly wears his on his arm, like the back of his arm. So it's just a little patch that they will wear on the back of their arm, and the sensor reads to their phone. So first, normally he would take off his previous sensor that he has on his arm, either his right or left arm, and he would just peel that sensor right off. Now, if it's too sticky and he can't get it off, we do have this Glue Gone. It's very good. It's for getting like sticky stuff, adhesive and tape and things off. So you would just take like a cotton swab and just pour some on a cotton swab and just dab around the sticky area or the tough area, and then it should be able to come right off. So since he doesn't have his on right now, then we don't need to use this. Now, the Dexcom is pretty fast and simple to change. We would also use this. I'm sorry, y'all. We will also use this to dispose of anything that he takes off of his body, because a lot of the Dexcoms and things like that, they all kind of have a needle in it. So we would like dispose of anything inside of this container. Like we just got this like off Amazon. It came like a little bundle. So they fill up with like needles and anything like that. And you could just throw the whole box away, close it up, and you can't open it back up. So it's a good way to get rid of like just anything hospital wise and things like that. So first, Armani would just decide which arm he would put his Dexcom on. So they do suggest that you change the area. So whatever arm he had it on for the first 10 days, he would switch for the next 10 days. So which arm did you have it on before?
I had it on my right arm.
So he had it on his right arm. So this time we would do his left arm. So I'm just going to help him. And he really can do this on his own. Like, he has a down pack where he can change his own sensor. It's very simple and easy. But first we will start with our alcohol wipes. And they just come in like little packets, little alcohol wipes. And he would just wipe the area of the back of his arm that he's going to put it on. So right here, he's rubbing the back of that area, just cleaning off any sweat or dirt or anything that's on the back of that area. And then he's just letting that area dry. So while he's letting that area dry, he would then open up his Dexcom. And then it kind of just come with a little instruction, little book, and every one. So most of the time when we order the Dexcoms, it come with 3 in each shipment, and they all come with the instruction book, and then they also come with these little stickers that can go around it to keep it secured down. Now, he did used to have the G6 before the G7, and it did not come with this little sticker to go around the sensor. We actually had to buy those separately if he wanted those. But this one actually comes with one, and it's more clear than the ones that we used to buy. The ones we used to buy were like black, like big black tape, and it really stood out. So this is a good accessory that comes with the G7. So your sensor is going to look like this. It's just going to come in like this big circular container that's going to help you put it on. So now that we know that his alcohol area is dry, we also have bought him these skin tack wipes. So these wipes are really good with anything that you're trying to put on your body that you want to stick. So these basically are like sticky wipes, like glue wipes and stuff like that. You don't need a lot of it. He actually can use a wipe more than once because it's really sticky. He could just use one side, and if he was changing his anything else the same day, he could still use that sticky pad. Now, if he don't have anything else to change that day, then he would just throw it away. So I always give him the option if he needs to or wants to use this. So do you want to use this for your Dexcom?
No, I don't need to.
You don't need to?
No.
Why? You feel like it stays on pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
So with some things, some of the older supplies like the G6 and other things before that, they used to come off easily or fall off, but he feels like the G7 is pretty good with staying on for the entire wear. With him exercising, playing basketball, like just doing stuff all day, his Dexcom G7 stays on all day. So that's good that he doesn't have to use this right now either. So with the sensor, all he does is unscrews the top. And when you take the top off, you can actually see the sensor. That's the sensor. That's the bottom of the sensor, the sticky pad. This is the side that's going to actually be on his skin. And you can see the needle right there. It's like a needle sticking out. That needle is going to shoot into his skin so that the sensor can go inside of his skin so that it can test his blood. So I always say and think that he's very brave for all the things that he has to go through for having diabetes. Like I said, this isn't too bad because he went from pricking his fingers all day, every day, to only having to put this sensor on once every 10 days. So that's a big improvement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is really great for kids. So he's going to show us how he puts his sensor on. So he just sits it on that area, that fatty area that he just cleaned up. And then it's a button on the sensor, on the side of the sensor container. And when he feels like he has it in the good position that he wants it in, he's going to push that button. So that loud noise was the needle, the sensor container pushing that needle and sensor into his skin. So now the sensor is on. You could just go around to make sure that it's completely flat and on, which it is. And it's like, this is a good little size. This is a good size sensor, especially for teens, especially for like self-esteem and anything like that they might go through with having diabetes. And there's other places that your sensor can go that people don't have to see, like any other fatty areas on your body. He likes his on his arm, and he's been doing that for ever since we found ever since we had the Dexcom and he's found out about it, this has been his go-to area. He just moves the area around. So at this point, like I said, we just go around the area to make sure it's completely on. But as soon as you look at it, you can see that this is completely on. Like I said, the G7 has been an improvement. So then he has his sticky part that I said, it just started coming in the packet with the Dexcoms, with the G7 has offered it. You just peel the back off, and then that's just a complete sticker. And in the middle, of course, is a hole. That's where the Dexcom will sit, right there in the middle of the hole. And then all around, this would just cover the rest of that sticky part on the Dexcom so that it helps it stay on if it started to lift because of sweat or water or anything like that, like being in the shower and stuff like that. So I'll just go ahead and help him with this part. It is really sticky, so you have to be careful. But you would just literally go around the Dexcom and just lay that sticky part around in a circle. And it'll be like a green circle around his arm. So just go around and just lay it flat. And it's on. The only thing you have to do after that is just to peel the green part off. And then it's a larger white patch around his arm. So like I said, we bought packages when we patches when we had the G6, but they were larger. They were almost like what, this big? And they were black. Now they did have like little decorated ones and characters, especially for littler kids to make them fun and everything. But like I said, he's 14 years old. Like he don't want no stickers all over his arm. So this is just as good for him. So just like that, that's how easy, quick, and simple it is to change a G7 sensor. If he had a sensor on already and we were getting ready to change it, all we would do, like I said, is to peel the sensor off. And again, if you needed help, or if he took his sensor off one of his arms and he felt like excuse me, his skin was kind of itchy or rashy or not reacting good, we were told by the doctor to use vitamin E oil on that area or any area that we feel like is like breaking out or anything like that. But so far his skin seems to be doing good. Okay, now that he has his sensor on his body, Armani has the Dexcom G7 app downloaded on his phone. Like I said, they do give you a device, but for most teens, you know, they have a cell phone, so they could just download the app. So what he's going to do is he's going to go to the app. And when he don't have a sensor on the app, it's going to just, the app is going to show up just like this. It's going to say, no alerts, start new sensor. So he's going to hit start new sensor. When he hits start new sensor, the app literally gives you step-by-step direction on what to do. So when he hits start new sensor, it says sensor ID, find the sensor QR code on the side of the applicator. So it's showing you where to find it on the applicator that he used to put on his body. And then it says you can use camera to scan code. Now, sometimes even if the code wouldn't scan, it does have the 4 numbers on the side. This one says 6717. That sometimes, you know, if that sensor don't work, you are able to push in the numbers 6717. And all of this is Bluetooth. And everything on this body is Bluetooth. So it should be able to pick up this sensor. So use camera to scan. We're going to hold up to the QR code. And right away, it picked it up really fast. Like, it's not no long wait or no scanning around or anything like that. At this point, it will walk you through the steps on how to insert new sensor and everything like that. So we already did all of these steps. Next thing that we would do is either click how to insert a sensor, which we already did, or new sensor is inserted. So his sensor is already inserted, so that's what we would click. And it's saying searching for sensor number 6717, which we know that's what we have. So at this point, it's saying Bluetooth is pairing a request. You hit pair. Then it says sensor paired. Your sensor is now warming up. So you hit OK. Now your screen should show your countdown for how long it will take for your sensor to warm up. Right now it says 19 minutes remaining, sensor warm up. Your sensor is now warming up. No readings or alerts until warm up is done. So for 20 minutes, he won't know what his blood sugar is unless he pricks his finger or anything like that. But 20 minutes is a very, very short wait. I think the G7, how long was that warm up? You remember?
The G6.
The G6.
I think it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think the G6 was like 30 minutes or probably more than 30 minutes. It was a little longer. So I know the G7 is a faster warm-up time. So after these 18 minutes, we're going to come back and show you guys what it's going to look like after the sensor is done warming up. Okay, so we're back and the sensor is now warmed up. So on the sensor, you can see at the bottom it says sensor warm up complete. You are now getting, I'm sorry, I'm reading backwards. You are now getting readings and alerts. So that's what's going to pop up when your sensor is done. That 20 minutes that we had to wait, it is now done. So you just hit OK. And then now your Dexcom is now reading his blood sugar. So at the top will be his blood sugar and the bottom will be the graph throughout the day. Really simple, really easy app. It actually monitors like his whole day, his week, his month. It can monitor up to 90 days of reading on the app. So he can actually see like, okay, I'm normally high at this time, I'm low at that time, and just keeping track of his sugar all day. Like I said, this is a very good tool for teenagers that's always on the go, always doing things, not having to carry around all them extra supplies. Of course, they do tell you to still carry your backup finger pricker and your blood sugar monitor, because if anything was to happen, you need to still be able to check your blood sugar. Anything can happen when you can lose your phone, or kids' phones die, or just anything. His Dexcom fell off and he needs to be able to still read his blood sugar. So that's just in case of emergencies. For the most part, he's a pretty responsible teenager, and like I said, this phone has everything that he needs right on it with this Dexcom app, and he loves it. You like your G7?
Yeah. It's good for me to just check it whenever I want to. Like check my blood sugar, and whenever I'm at lunch, I don't need to go anywhere to check my blood sugar with my finger pricker.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like whenever he's ready to eat, before he had to go to the bathroom and check his blood sugar and then do all his calculations, and now all he has to do is look at his phone. Okay, that's my blood sugar, and then do the proper steps that's needed. So that's all. We're happy we got to show you guys how to change a G7 sensor, and I'm happy that Monty joined us today for the video. Okay, thank y'all.